Hey there, Jasper Nation. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Jasper Sports Network. We're here inside the Morrow Broadcast Studio, where season number 51 of Jasper Men's Soccer is about to get underway. The head coach of the program, Jorden Scott, joins me. Coach, thank you so much for the time. How's your summer?
It was busy. It was busy, but we're glad to be back on the field, and we're looking forward to a great season.
Absolutely. Last season was certainly the great season that you're talking about. 9-8-1, 6-3-1 in conference play, and you get to the playoffs. Now for this season, how do you try and build off that success so that's sustainable?
Yeah, well, obviously you lose a senior group who had a tremendous influence in the team, not just on last year, but years before, and losing guys that were there to sort of lift us through those stumbling blocks early in the season last year was so crucial for us. We really hit form when we got to the end of the season. Those little moments in between those out of conference games are really to test you and see where you're at. We're looking for the same this year from the senior group. People are going to have really big seasons. They're going to have learned from last year. And truthfully, we think that we're bringing in a great group of guys that can really push us. So hopefully we can take another step.
A lot of what we saw in the offseason on social media, and by the way, you can follow the men's soccer team at Jasper Soccer on Twitter. We've seen a lot of pictures about recovery, taking some time to make sure your body stays in shape after the game. Yeah. What strides have you made in that?
Well, we've really, we've added assistant coach who has that strength and conditioning recovery experience, that background, in Sean Riley, and he's brought in a bunch of new ideas. We're bringing in things like Normatec and Game Ready for the legs and blood circulation to aid recovery. We're doing tremendous amounts with rollers and with bands, and we're adding in those core pieces that strengthen up so that we're able to recover between games, because that's the toughest thing about college. It's not, I always say college soccer is like crisis management. Can you get your best guys back on the field in time to play the next game? That's really what it's about. It's what everyone's trying to figure out. Usually when you get 3 or 4 weeks in, there's not much that's going to change about your team. You've pretty much figured that out. And guys need to be able to wake up, do the right things. Nutrition was a big component this preseason. We've really stressed on that. And then obviously working with the training staff, the athletic training staff, to be able to recover. But one of the big pieces is going to be the G-Pack. Because our ability to go into that center, get into those new tubs, get in treatment immediately, being able to refuel is going to be a key part of our season, hopefully.
How have the guys responded to all of these new programs and initiatives?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them really take care of themselves. The thing that maybe they don't quite go into detail with is the nutrition, is the sleeping, which is another piece that we spoke about this year. Being able to time manage is a crucial piece. They all want to do the right things. It's just trying to fit everything into a day. Sometimes there's not enough hours, right? Because you've got to live your life, you've got to study, you've got to be a great athlete. But then in between all that, you've got to do the things that allow you to be great. For if you're a student, you spend the time studying, right? You work with your professors, you work with your classmates. When you get to the field, when you leave the field, you've got to really start to work with your coaches, with athletic training staff, to make sure that you're there ready for the next game or the next class.
So let's get into on-the-field matters. 2 preseason games so far against FDU and Army. How's the team look?
It's looked great. We took 2 really tough games, 2 great programs. FDU had a great season last year. We went over there and they took it to us, and we figured that would be a great opening sort of benchmark. And the game went really well. Obviously with preseason, people flooding different players in and out, so we're getting to know some guys, and I thought it went really well. And then we move on into Army, and when you travel to any time of the year you go to play Army, you know what you're going to get, and it was a really tough test. It was physical, it was intense, it was really close to what I'd expect in the MAC, and we scored some great goals, made some mistakes, but out of it, we came out, we watched video, and we look at what areas we can get better at, and truthfully, it was a sort of precursor for when we travel to Annapolis and take on Tim and his developing program, which is going to be even better than they were last year, and that was a tough test for us.
One of the areas that on paper appears to be a strength is the goalkeeping. Marcel Ngoye, named the 2017 goalkeeper of this season in the MAC, named to the preseason team for 2018. What are the expectations for him?
Our expectations are the same for him as we were last year, which is, be every day consistent. We talk about that all the time. With goalkeeping, everybody loves to see all the dramatic saves, but the truth is that the fundamentals need to be done very well for you to be able to do that. You don't want a goalkeeper who's who looks great on TV, but then he's making crazy mistakes that cost you games. You want a guy who's consistent, who's solid. But more importantly for Marcelin is he has to become a leader this year. That was one of the things last year we sort of weighed on because he was working on his English language. He improved. He had a great year academically. But now, after a tremendous spring, he has to lead this team. He has to take a back line, which will change tremendously. Considering we lost Luke Greaves, Joe Hume, we're adding in different pieces to our team. He has to lead that group, and I have no doubt he will do.
Marcelin, one of the key players for this 2018 squad. Who are some other names that Jasper Nation should watch out for?
I don't really want to pick too many guys because I think they all contribute in their own ways. But there's certainly guys who I thought last year had great seasons. Brandon Joseph, who maybe faded at the end, and he will readily admit that he just became exhausted with the college season, his first experience of that. And he has to take that next step. He has to learn how to manage a 20-game season. Noah Misa, who has been up and down with injuries, has had a tremendous summer, really fit, really hungry, came back in. He's looked great in preseason. We're hoping for him to really have a big season. Tristan Doran, who now becomes one of those leaders in the group, and his confidence levels are through the roof now because he's becoming that athlete that we all wanted him to be, and now he's able to go and contribute for a deeper position. But we've still got some old legs in there, Ryan Shields, Troy Carrington. These guys are going to come in and give those new guys a little bit of knowledge and understanding of how to play at that level, and then hopefully we can go on and have a great season and a better one than we did last year.
It all starts off against Navy on Friday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Yep. Quickly, keys to that game.
Wow, we're walking into a cage fight. I think that's how I describe it to the guys. We've got to come in with energy. We've got to bring intensity. We have to match them for desire. If we can match them for desire, then we give ourselves a great chance. And then after that, it comes down to moments of brilliance or moments of mistakes. But we have to walk into that place and be ready to play.
And we will find that out on Friday, August 24th, like we mentioned before. Coach Scott, thank you so much for the time. Good luck to you in the program this season.
Thank you so much.